I've been a pro-life person for really all my life, but became active in pro-life activism later, much later in life in my Christian walk. During most of the time as a pro-life activist, I had always felt that the rape incest exception was wrong. It bothered me a lot. In fact, it bothered me a great deal when even other pro-life people would tell me how they would argue against abortion, but would throw out this exception to appease those they were arguing with. And even in election time, I was one who felt like it was better to vote for the lesser of evils, knowing that there was one candidate that would be the victor, one of only two choices usually, and I figured that the most expedient thing to do and the wisest and prudent thing to do would be to vote for the person who at least opposed abortion in most cases. I've since come to the conclusion, though, that I was wrong, and here's why. Because while the logic I just proposed maybe sort of makes sense, there was some things I was missing. One in particular is that when we vote for someone who has the rape incest exception, we are undermining the very argument as to why we oppose abortion. Anyone looking on, and we are ambassadors of Christ, people are watching what we do, they're watching what we say, and they, being made in the image of God, have rational minds, and anyone with a rational mind can see that if someone has a rape incest exception, we don't really oppose abortion for the reasons we say we do. In other words, if I'm going to say that abortion is wrong because it kills a baby in the womb, but then turn around and say, but we can kill a baby in the womb in the cases of rape and incest, someone immediately says, you don't really take that view seriously. Maybe they don't say that. Maybe they don't even recognize it at a fully conscious level. But they do, they're aware of that it's an inconsistency, that we really don't believe what we're saying when we say that abortion kills a baby. And all this time that we think we're doing the right thing by voting for the lesser of evils, we're really undermining the entire argument that abortion is a terrible wrong, that it murders and takes the life of an innocent baby. And this, I think, bears the fruit of what we've seen. So what I've just proposed is what I see as one of the major problems of why I was wrong to vote for someone who has a rape incest exception. That's the theory I proposed. The next thing I would say is, what is the fruit of what has been born of this logic, of this approach, for the last 40 years? Can someone tell me that things are better because we have done this? I don't know how we can say things are better, because I'm not sure how they could get any worse. We have abortion on demand through all 9 months of pregnancy. Public opinion data shows that people still support, certainly in the first trimester, abortion legal without restrictions. 2/3, I think, of a recent Gallup poll says this. We just re-elected the most pro-abortion president you could imagine, a president who has a 100% rating by the abortion rights groups. The guy is perfect in their mind, and we just elected him. 1.2 million abortions per year. That's 1.2 million babies being murdered every year. And that really hasn't changed. I mean, that's they say like a 5% drop maybe from the high that was 2 decades ago or something. But that's nothing to celebrate and say that we're winning. We are losing badly. That's the fruit that's been born from our efforts. And part of our efforts have been this compromise on rape incest. So if we were, perhaps, say we were some athletic program, say we were the football program at Oklahoma University, and we'd been losing every year, and the coaching staff said, no worries, we're still getting some first downs, we're still making a few good plays, victory is just around the corner. Nobody in their right mind would keep that coaching staff working. They'd fire them. And they would say, we need to reevaluate what we're doing. We need to change what we're doing. Certainly in these significant areas. A significant area would be the kind of candidates we get behind and we tell the world are pro-life. We're telling the world that a man who has an exception for rape and incest is pro-life. What kind of message is that? And the damage that does to the entire movement. And I would argue, as a pragmatic point of view, that's stupid. We're killing more babies by doing this. And why some people might think that we're voting for this lesser of evils who has a better chance at winning than some guy who has no chance at winning is a great strategy because we're going to save the babies now that we can. That is bad logic. It's not biblical. The theory it goes against that, and the fruit that has come about from that proves that. So I'm here to say that I was one who held this view. I voted for people with a who had the rape incest exception because I thought it was the right thing to do. But I'm saying now I was wrong. I was wrong. And I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to compromise on that anymore. And anybody running for any kind of office, anybody running for any kind of leadership, if you have that exception, you're not getting my vote. If you hold a consistent abolitionist view, that is that all babies in the womb should be protected, and that we should call for immediate abolition of abortion in all cases, that's a view I'm going to vote for. That's a view we can get behind. That's a view that sends the right message to the world. And you know what? We still might get incremental improvements, but that doesn't matter. Whatever comes about, we need to stick with a consistent view, one that says that all babies should be protected, and we're not going to compromise on that. That's all I have to say about that.